Hey everybody, Miss Anna here again with our weekly church school lesson. I hope you guys are all doing well. Our lesson today is the second week of Lent. And during this time of Lent, we are talking about and thinking about and practicing ways to kind of slow down our life and draw closer to God and to each other. And there's lots of ways that people do that. So I'm going to share with you our Bible lesson today, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what that looks like for us today. I'm going to share with you the story about one of the very few stories we have about Jesus as a young boy, and it's called The Boy at the Temple. So every year, Jesus' family traveled from their home in Nazareth to Jerusalem to celebrate the festival of Passover. Jesus loved going to the festival. He loved the crowds of people. He loved the noise and the bustle of activity. He loved spending time in the temple. One year, when Jesus was 12 years old, the festival began like any other. Mary and Joseph and Jesus enjoyed the sights, sounds, and activities of the festival together. When the festival was over, Mary and Joseph joined others from Nazareth for the long walk home. But when the group started to camp out at the end of the first day, Mary and Joseph could not find Jesus anywhere. Everyone thought that he had been walking with someone else in the group. "Jesus!" yelled his parents. "Jesus, where are you?" Mary and Joseph were frantic. They quickly walked back to Jerusalem looking for him. They searched the city high and low for 3 whole days until they found Jesus in the temple. Mary and Joseph were surprised at what they saw. Jesus was in the temple talking with teachers more than twice his age. He was just a boy, but he could talk about God with a room full of grown-ups. The teachers in the temple were impressed with what Jesus knew. Mary and Joseph were proud, but they were still a bit angry with Jesus. "Jesus, why weren't you with us? We've been looking all over for you," Mary and Joseph exclaimed. Jesus replied, "Why were you looking for me? Didn't you understand that I was in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph didn't understand, but with that they gathered their belongings and began the long walk back home with Jesus. So in this story, we learn from very early on, Jesus knew that he had a job while he was here on earth, that he was here to share about God with people. And even when Mary and Joseph couldn't find him, and they finally found him in the temple, his question to them was, "Well, why didn't you know I was here? Of course I am here in my Father's house, in God's house, in the temple." So for us, as we are in the season of Lent, I think one of the things we can take from this story about Jesus in the temple and Mary and Joseph looking for Jesus is the idea of curiosity. So I've got this question mark here. Do you guys know what curiosity means? Curiosity is being interested in and paying attention to things outside us and to people around us, is to wonder about other people, kind of with our whole heart, to not be suspicious or trying to guess, but to be curious means to ask questions and then to really listen. And that's really important, both for our relationships with each other and for our relationship with God, to take time and ask questions so we know the other person better. So in our families, one thing we can do is we can be really, we can set time aside to do that. We can have a special time where we ask special questions, where we really want to learn more about each other, and then give a person in our family or a friend time to answer those questions. And we can do that same thing with God. Prayer can look a lot like that. One of the most famous quotes about prayer from Mother Teresa says that prayer is about us just listening to God and God listening to us, that's what prayer is. So it doesn't have to be full of big words or all the right things to ask or to say. It can just be a time of curiosity, waiting to hear from God and to let God hear from us. So this week, I want you guys to think about what it means to be curious with the people in your life and maybe learn something new about the people that you've been living in your home with a lot, especially this last year. Maybe there's something new that you don't know about one of your family members. And also to spend some time this week being curious about God. And you can be curious by reading the Bible or by listening to other people talk about God or singing songs or in prayer. So I hope this week you find some time to be curious. Talk to you guys later. Bye.